Now to do a full form add, to add a student through the full form, press this full form add button, and it comes up with a blank record with all the fields for the student. So I'm just going to type in the student's name. I'll put John Doe. And you can, the fields are pretty self-explanatory. I'll just go through a couple that might be a little bit different or might be a little odd, like this one here. You just scroll like this with your finger to find the month, the day, and the year. And when you have that, you basically just tap on top of it and then tap outside, and it'll insert. It has that entered there. So you kind of fill out the information for uh, any fields that you want to complete. The only thing that may be a little different here is you can see right now these tabs at the bottom: Guardians, Medical, Dismissal, Documents, Moved, and custom fields. So there's these tabs. Now the first one is Guardians. I'm on Guardian 1, and you can enter that information. But there's also, if I swipe, I get Guardian 2. So there's just two Guardians, Guardian 1 and Guardian 2, that you can enter by swiping. The medical, the next tab, the medical information, you can fill all that information out. It's pretty clear. The only thing is down at the very bottom here where it says enter any medical conditions here. This will flag the students for medical awareness. That just means if I put something like peanut allergy, then if I tap anywhere outside of that field, it shows this red. And this red just shows that this student has some kind of medical condition or something that I should be aware of. It also puts a plus sign, a medical kind of plus sign at the top here. As an alert. And if I shrink this, so I'm in this student form view and I want to see it in a list view, and I go to shrink, which up in the corner here, and I press shrink. You'll see also by the student's name in the list view, there's a little white plus or cross with the red background, and that just shows that students that have these symbols have some kind of medical condition or something that I should be aware of. So I'm going to go back into that student, John Doe, by pressing the expand down arrow, the down arrow beside John Doe, and I'm back. Dismissal. There's just, you can just press on top for walk or bus. They might walk in the morning, take a bus back at the end of the day. To get rid of the X, just press on top. The only other thing is other. Other just entered, maybe they go to an after school program. Say it's Happy Days. Well, I should capitalize that. Days Daycare. Something like that. Press save. And you can type special instructions down here as well. There's certain people that have to pick them up. If there's special instructions, if it's cancellation, and so on. The next one is documents. And documents is a little different because it allows you to store documents pertaining to this one child. So not assessment documentations, but maybe you get sent some medical information. Maybe it's some kind of external testing, like a psych test or something like that, and you want to save it with the student. I can press this plus sign, and I can use the camera to take a picture of the actual document, or if I can put any documents that are on any kind of cloud service, I can link to them. So the camera one, I press camera, and it says, would you like to access the camera? Assessments would like to access the camera. You have to press yes or OK here, or the iPad won't let K6 Ninja Assessments use the camera. So if I press OK, then I would just take a picture of the note or whatever, the document. I'll just take a picture of this note really quickly, like this. And use a photo. So I use that photo. Now, sometimes I just take pictures of notes like that. It could be a note from a parent saying something that I just have to remember for later. Maybe they're going away on vacation. Maybe they're the parents are leaving for vacation and the child's staying with somebody else and there's a new contact number, and I tend to lose those notes, so I just take a photo, save it here, and I might put a title, note, and description, parents away, new contact, whatever, something like that. And if I ever want to view that, I just press on top of the picture of the note and just go view play, and it'll show the note. And I press done. Now, if I want to get something from a cloud service like Google Docs or Google Drive, I press the plus and I select the cloud service. So there's all these ones here that are kind of pre-entered. You can enter your own cloud service if it's not here by going into settings from the home screen, and there's cloud services in there and you can add your own. But I'm going to go to Google Drive, so I'm going to press Google Drive and then I press open link. Now it says it's going to open the link, and after you do that, I press OK. It's going to open Google Drive. It might say the first time, hey, Assessments wants to open Google Drive. Is that okay? And you have to say yes for the first time. Now I'm going to scroll down and I'll just go to a document. Pretend this is a document I want to attach with this student. It could be some, assessment or something that's regarding like medical information or some kind of testing like that. Then I just press the little, I'll do that again because I hold it too long. If I press this plus, are these three dots at the end of the document, I press get link. So whatever service you're using, whatever cloud service, you basically have to copy the link to the document, and it's done differently in different cloud services, but in Google Docs it's pressing those three dots and tapping get link. Then I go up to the top left hand corner and press assessments, back to assessments, the little back arrow. Come back here and it says insert link into evidence field for John, and I put OK, and so it'll insert the link there. Instead of using the picture, I now have a link to a document, and I would press view or play to go see that document. The next is moved, and if a student moves away, instead of deleting the student, what will happen if a student moves away and you create new assessments, they keep getting added to the assessments, and they're not in your class really anymore, so you don't want them in your assessments. So you want to go here and press moved and just press yes, they've moved, and then the date. Select the date and then tap just outside. That'll keep them from appearing in future assessments, but all their previous assessments they'll still be in the previous assessments, so you can go back and look at previous marks. You can also look at their information on here, the contact information. A lot of students go away and then they come back, so it's good to don't just delete them, because if you press delete for delete a student with the trash can, it actually removes them from all the assessments and from here, so they basically don't exist. And so if they really just moved away, you're going to press moved. If they come back, return to the class, then you just come back to the same screen and change this to returned. And the last part over here is custom fields, the last tab. Here you can enter your own custom fields. There may be things you want to track that aren't in the system right now. So I might, over here where it says field title, I'm just going to click on the top one, and I could call it anything like band. Maybe I want to know all the students that are taking band. I press band, click in the field, and I type yes, this person's in band. And if I go to another student by going to the shrink button at the top, and let's go to the person below John Doe, I leaned over, then I go to custom fields, the custom fields tab. You'll see band is there, and I can say for her, maybe no, she's not in band. And later then I can do a search for all the students who have yes in band, and I can print off a list of all the students in band. And it makes it easy to track those things. So those are both main kind of like little odd things, maybe about entering information in the student form.